Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor, and I'm here with two friends from the Painters Clubhouse. We've got Becca Laramore and Princess Minnie. That's her nickname that she goes by. It's way easier to say than her given name. And so I just love your radiance, and you guys are both just so beautiful and just full of sunshine. So if you will, let's just start off. Becca, tell us where you're from and maybe how long you've been in the Painters Clubhouse.
So I live in Lima, Ohio, and didn't grow up here. I grew up in Kansas, but lived here for years now. So, gosh, I'm trying to think when I joined. I'm a nurse, and I haven't honestly, like during COVID, I was so crazy busy, but I joined during COVID, and I remember, I'm thinking it was like September or October, like maybe 20 or 21. So it's been at least a year.
Yeah.
I've been in, but I'm just now honestly getting into it.
Well, I hear a lot of times people's excuse for not joining is because they're too busy. Like they feel like they won't have enough time for it. So, are you glad you went ahead and joined then, or do you wish you would have waited? Like, how has that been?
I think I'm glad that I did then. I mean, I could have waited, but at the same time, I've been, watching videos, your trainings, different things along the way. So now I just kind of put it together a little bits at a time. And, I thought, you know what, let's just do it because I just feel like they need art in their soul right now. So I think it's good for people. So I'm just doing it.
I agree. And sometimes it's like you have to digest it a little bit before you can do it. Some people are that way. I'm not that way. I dive in head first in whatever it is I'm doing, and I kind of like build the parachute on the way down. So, but some people have to like digest it first anyway. So, watching these videos, sometimes even just watching and not doing, you can still start through osmosis and just learning by watching. You can learn a lot before you even sit down. So you're just going to be that much more prepared when you do start to work. Miss Minnie, tell us where you are from.
So, okay, I'm an Air Force brat. Born in Georgia, raised in Texas, grew up in DC, but I am back in Texas, right outside of San Antonio in Schertz, Texas. So, and let's see, I want to say that I joined, it was definitely during the pandemic. When we did the letters?
Mm-hmm.
When we did the letters was when I was like, oh, I'm all in, because I was impressed that I could actually do that,
Yeah.
I had been kind of like, I'd seen, I think something popped up with Facebook with like your ad. And so I was like stalking it for a while, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can do, I'll try the letters. If it doesn't work out, then I'll be fine. But then after that, I was like, no, I want more information. I want it all. I am an IT project manager. So I tend to be a little busy, but I do not regret joining the Clubhouse when I did, because I have access to everything to do at my own pace. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of one of those people. I'm more the opposite of you, Tamara. Like I'm the perfectionist. So I got to watch it a few times because I don't want to mess everything up. And so I really love that I have the access to it. And like I said, I can just do that at my own pace. And then the workshops, like, I mean, getting that as being a part of a member, getting that for free and having that, like sometimes I'm just there going along with it, not actually, doing it, but just having that, it was like relieving during COVID for me. So I've been all in.
It's hard because for a long time there, we weren't able to get out and be social with each other and to get to just enjoy doing things like this together. And so if we can get together in a Facebook group and sort of recreate that to the best of our ability, I think that it really helps alleviate some of that we've been missing.
Definitely. And it's funny because I know we joke sometimes and say it's cheaper than therapy, but no, it really, really is. Like, trust me, guys, the copay and all of that. But like my dad did pass of COVID. And so he was like my biggest cheerleader. And I mean, I could make something ugly and he'd be like, no, that's beautiful, baby girl. So joining the letters workshop got me out of that funk. You know what I mean? It totally lifted my spirits. It was like, oh, I can do it. And then I had the PC sisters and like I had that support that I felt I lost in my dad, just all across the board. So don't regret it at all.
Just out of my own personal curiosity, do you like the letters workshops better, or do you like the ones we do on the rounds better? Because the reason we chose to do the letters in the first place was because you can pick up a wooden letter anywhere, right? And then the reason we switched to doing the rounds was because it teaches you how to use a template on a round, whereas you don't really use a template on a letter. So from a user perspective, I'm curious which one you guys prefer or which one you think you enjoyed more.
I haven't done the letter yet.
Well, Becca may not be able to speak to that then.
I don't necessarily have a preference, especially now. Like I get, but see, like, because I ordered the rounds from you because one day I'm going to actually start using my Glowforge. But I ordered the rounds for you, like, and they literally got here like 2 or 3 days. How did you do that? But yes, so I feel you can get more technique, out of the rounds, but the letters are also kind of that quick, easy, rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because there's a million different techniques I could teach on the letters, and that's an easily accessible thing for people. And I think some people sometimes just have those letters sitting around because they bought them with full intentions of making something and never did. Because I know I'm one of those people. I would probably have one of those in my closet because I'm like, oh, I'll make something with that someday.
Same. I have quite a few letters. At this point, I'm like, should I just get the whole alphabet or?
Yeah. I see a couple of our friends over in the comments. We've got a couple PC sisters, Miss Chelsea and Miss Pam Savage. Welcome, ladies. So my next question for y'all would be, what area do you feel like you've grown the most in the Painters Clubhouse? Like, has it helped you with anything specific painting-wise?
Do you want to go first?
As far as the details, a little bit goes a long way. And just, how you trim around and put little dots sometimes, and don't be afraid for it. I thought it had to be perfect. It doesn't. And it's amazing that it doesn't have to be. It surprises me.
Yeah, and to me, they can all, like, your style of doing that can be completely different from Minnie's, and it can be like, I don't know. It's just, it's like your own unique little nuance that you do to it. And it just brings it so much more personality than just being, flatly painted. So what would you say?
I tend to be a little technically nerdy. So it reminds me like of a coder. Like when they're doing code, each developer kind of has like its own little unique touch to their code. And it works, but it's just different. And so I think what I love the most too is that it really opened up my creativity and my options. So like once I did something on the letter, I was like, you know what? I could actually do this on this little crate and have this painted. So now I'm looking at unfinished wood pieces like, I could totally do that.
You're finding things to paint.
Yes. So it's definitely helped open that up and help you look at options, especially like if you're looking to run or to do pieces for like your business or even vendor sales. You can still use those techniques on different items or different unfinished wood pieces. You pulled out the canvases. Do you know how many canvases I had like laying around? And I'm like, oh, I can do that. So it definitely opens up options and opportunities there.
And sometimes it just takes getting one little idea or seeing somebody else use something that maybe you already have in your craft stash in a new way to suddenly get you inspired. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I hit that moment of like light bulb, I want to go make the thing right now because it's like I'm sitting on top of the supplies. All I got to do is get in there and make it happen. And I get excited about it.
Yes,
definitely.
Okay. So, what would you say was your biggest fear before joining the Painters Clubhouse? Did you have any fears or like reservations or anything that was holding you back?
I think for me, I was just kind of down, I was just in a mood and I was like, oh, even though it's virtual, I don't want to be, like in this group with a whole bunch of people and I'm not people-y and have to interact.
Are you an introvert? I would not have guessed. You seem like you're just very friendly and bubbly. I would never have guessed.
But then like I got in, I was just like, just do it. And like, I still get to be myself, which is, you know, my introverted self, but I'm comfortable enough to communicate and work with other people. So for me, that was just definitely, it was just kind of a whole mood, spirit lifting thing that I felt I needed during that time.
Well, you must bring a little sunshine into the clubhouse, because I know when I've told my team who all I was interviewing this week, Megan Ramus, our camp counselor in the clubhouse, said, "Oh, I can't wait to see Princess Minnie." She said, "She always leaves the funniest comments." She said, "I can't wait to see like what she is like on video." So she's curious to like see you in person.
Oh, thank you.
What about you, Becca? Did you have any fears or reservations before joining?
I wanted to share art with other people. And so a big fear of, okay, how do I get started? How do I, and so I don't know that I had a fear to, well, maybe a little bit of a fear to join Painters Clubhouse, but I did Painters Clubhouse and Template the club at the same time, because I figured why it makes sense to do one and not the other.
Yeah.
But it's that has really changed, you know, my fear of I've already had parties. I've actually, my third one is tomorrow.
Wow.
So it really has, you know, you have helped me a lot.
Are you doing the parties for just personal enjoyment, or is this like a little side gig to like make extra money?
A business, yeah.
Good. What's your business name? Don't you
I'm
mind me asking?
debating how I'm going to do it, because I also want to do it at my church for the ladies at my church, because I'm starting a ladies group, but I don't want to charge them as much. But then there's a very fine line. I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Well,
So
I know from the other perspective of it, if those ladies knew that you were thinking about like charging them less just because you felt bad, you know, for charging them, they'd probably be like, "No, girl, charge us what you charge everybody else. You're worth it." Like, they want to support you. So don't feel like just because they're close friends and family that like you feel like you have to discount it. They give them the opportunity to show up and support you.
that's probably you nailed it. My biggest challenge is close friends and family. I've always been that way. I've always made people things and given it away. I crochet. My grandma taught me to crochet when I was 10. I crochet like these really cute Christmas hats with the long, you know, like elf hat with the pom pom, because grandma taught me how to make pom poms too. So I'm very artsy crafty. I'm a Libra. I'm a true Libra. But I always give the stuff away because I feel like I can't charge them. So that's my biggest downfall.
I know, Becca, though, even if you just do material cost, that way, you know, you cover that. And because I struggle with that too, especially like, or when I'm volunteering at the nursing home or something, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to charge you guys for my time, but this is, you know, I was able to get discounts or something like that on the materials. So we'll just pass that cost on. And like she said, like they want to pay you. They want to support you. So
I think it's all in your like mindset. Like Minnie's saying, if you want to volunteer your time and go do this at like a nursing home, and you're telling yourself, "I'm doing this because it makes me feel good to take something I'm good at and bless others with it." There's a difference between that and being like, "Well, I'm not going to charge you as much because I feel bad because you're friends and family." Like your friends and family, like, and it's hard too, because there will be people that are always like, "Well, do I get the friends and family discount?" You know, and if you don't treat your business like a business, they won't treat it like a business. And so it gets easier. The first couple of times it happens, you kind of have to draw a boundary line, but they won't do that to you again. You know, once you draw that line, it's easier from there on. But I don't want you to ever discount yourself because you feel like you have to. Do it because you want to, if you want to, but not just because you feel like you have to devalue yourself because they're friends or family.
Thank you.
Everybody's relating in the comments. She said, "Yeah, it's so hard not to charge full price." I have given friends and family discounts to people simply because I wanted to, you know, because of want to, but not because they asked or anything like that. So just make sure you protect your mindset around that, because you don't want to ever feel like you're gypping yourself when, you know, you could have charged full price. So what would you guys say are your goals moving forward, like within the next year? I know Minnie has that glow forge, so I'm gonna say Minnie's goal is to use that glow forge.
For you to like, it's out of the box. That's step one, right? So, for me, I definitely want to be more purposeful with my time, just overall in life too, you know. So I want to set out the time to actually, like, if I sign up for the workshop, then do it while we're doing it, because even though I can go back and watch it, then sometimes I'm just like, oh, and I have so much fun and we'll spend so much time shopping for the stuff for the workshops. So I just want to make sure, like, be prepared, and then commit to myself for time with creativity and getting some of the, because we have amazing templates. They are super cute. I'm like, nobody even knows I can do this because I don't finish one or something like that. So definitely make more.
I know what you're saying, because it's like, if you know that you always have access to it, sometimes that is a crutch, and then we don't ever use it. And the experience is not quite the same when you access something later and you're not doing it in the moment with the community. There's something more you get out of it when you're doing it live with the group. And it's like you said, it's something you have to commit to for yourself, because it's good for you. It's good for your stress relief and your emotions. I know I have signed up before to do like a canvas painting class with my friend Christy Hawkins before, and I have to make myself write it in my calendar or it doesn't happen. I'll just say, oh, I'll watch that sometime later. But if I dedicate it to it, it's so good for me to get out of teacher mode and to get into student mode and to actually follow what the teacher's saying and to do. And I feel like I learn so much more when I dedicate that time. What about you, Becca? What's your goals?
So my goal is, well, I've started classes. You know, I said I'm going on my third one, teaching tomorrow, and I have one booked for the 11th as well. So I want to increase those classes. But my big goal is I want to do the virtual ones online. So that's my next thing. I really want to do that, and I want it to grow.
Yeah. Do you have a business Facebook page yet?
I do not. I came up with a name.
Yay, that's step one.
So no, I do not have just my regular personal Facebook page. So I should probably make that next.
Yep, that would be your next step, I would say. Yeah, and start working on building your audience up there. And it's going to be hard to transfer them to virtual if you've never done a Facebook Live before.
I have I sold paparazzi jewelry.
Okay, good. Well, I would start by setting up your Facebook page and maybe just dedicating one time a week to hop on there and do a quick craft or something with them. That way they get used to your teaching style, and then they're more willing to buy into the virtual or to join you for something virtual if they're used to participating with you live every week and they already know what it's like.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I see somebody in the comments said, yeah, I have the magnolia welcome door hanger and I have yet to make it. Well, you know what? Magnolias are in season right now because summer is coming up. So it's the perfect time right now to dive in and do that one. Let's see. Marilyn says, now I make sure to paint at least one design a week. Oh, I like that. So she has a goal of painting one a week. That's a great goal.
That is.
Let's see. Evangeline's talking about people in nursing homes. She said they're only allowed to keep $60 of their monthly Social Security. I think she's talking about how like limited their money is. So, you know, you might want to donate your time or something just because they don't have as much money to spend as others would. And I love this comment from Pam Savage. She said, look how much we've learned just in a few minutes and think what you will learn in the actual club. Yeah. If you think you've gotten a lot of value out of watching me on Facebook Live, just on my free videos, just imagine what you could do inside the paid membership. You get 2 new designs every single month. They're exclusive. We teach you tutorials to go along with those. We have guest artists that come in and teach like bonus lessons. Speaking of bonus lessons, can you guys think of any special, like what is your favorite tutorial or something that was maybe taught in the Clubhouse? I know we've had guests like hand lettering experts. We've had all kinds of things. Yes.
Mine was I'm looking at it because I have it sitting here. Mine was the gnome with the interchangeables.
Ooh, yeah, that was a couple of years ago
Yeah.
that I think Erica Wallace taught it. Go ahead and show
Yeah.
it to us. I'll make you
Okay.
bigger on the screen so everybody can see it real quick. Oh, that is so cute. I love
And
the
then
pattern on the hat.
this, I made mine separate. So I did those with a hand jigsaw
It's
and
smart.
made little hands so that I could build them up with my scrap wood. So then
Yeah.
I could just drop the piece in there.
That's adorable.
Too cute, Becca.
So,
I love
yeah.
it.
So mine is a little different than how she did it, but same
Yeah.
concept.
I love the pattern you did on the hat. They look like,
Thank
I don't know,
you.
kinda
I
like little
can't get it
snowflakes,
there.
maybe? Yeah. Silver is pretty.
Yeah. Thank you.
And your little accents and everything, I can tell you have your own, like, little personality to them. They're very specific. I like it.
Thanks.
What about you, Minnie? Do you have a favorite?
I don't think. Well, I think it was just some of the stuff that you do, not so much one of the guests. But all of the guest designers have been good. But a lot of the digital and showing us how to do stuff in like isn't that Canva? Which one was it though?
Procreate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like that's another thing that I pay for and don't use. And so you definitely motivate me. I'm like, okay, you're paying for this and you're not using it. Try it. And it looks intimidating initially. And going through some of the steps with you and then going back to look at them, I've been able to change colors on images. So that's good.
Yeah, that's a start. And the more you play with it, the easier it gets. I know personally, I usually only dedicate about 1 day a month to sit down and draw in Procreate because I have to design, for New Painters Clubhouse designs and for Template Club. And so if I don't dedicate time, it doesn't happen. But at least once a month, I sit down and I have like a whole day. I'll watch Netflix shows and just design. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I really should do this more, even if it's not for Clubhouse designs. I just enjoy actually designing and doing it. But dedicating that time is a big, big thing. It's hard to do.
I would like to add the Procreate later. I feel like I'm not ready for it yet, but
Yeah.
the artist in me already, like I said, I love arts and crafts already. I have for years. So I know I want to do it. I just don't want to put too much on my plate yet.
Yeah.
Because also I'm busy with my nursing career.
It's one of the things that I do love about that, and I hope that none of my coworkers, I want them to be in Clubhouse, but I hope that they're not on and hearing this. But sometimes we're in long meetings that I don't necessarily have to be 100% engaged in. Then I have my iPad, and I'm like, oh, I can practice lettering with my pencil.
Yep.
I'm still listening. I'm multitasking, but yeah, it gives me that just other kind of little outlet too, and work on it then.
It gives your hands something to do so that your mind can focus on what they're saying. I get it.
Exactly.
I sit there and do that during church when the preacher's preaching and I'm starting to feel a little bit sleepy because maybe I had a cinnamon roll for breakfast and the carb crash is hitting. That's what happens to me every Sunday because Sunday mornings is our cinnamon roll day. It never fails. 2 hours later when the preacher is preaching, all of a sudden that carb crash starts to hit and I'm like starting to get real sleepy. So in my notebook where I take notes at the top, I'll put like the title, and the title is like the fanciest hand lettered title because it allows me to sit there and kind of practice and listen while my hands are busy. That Pam Savage is asking if Minnie has a business. I know we talked about Becca. She just picked a business name, but what about you?
I do. It's Princess Cuts Crafts, and the Cuts is with a Z, and it is on Facebook. And the website is the same thing, like Princess Cuts Crafts, just at .com. So I do. It's kind of been a while since I've posted or updated anything. I've been more so working it kind of feels hard to stay caught up though, especially business wise. I feel like I should be working on Christmas stuff now.
Well, Christmas in July will be coming up for we
right?
know.
So I do love that about the Clubhouse and the way we get the templates too, because that's kind of honestly, it's also like a gauge for my business of what I should be preparing. When you send the templates, I'm like, oh yeah,
Is it really
baseball.
ready for October, like Christmas, like Halloween designs? It's hard to wrap your head around it.
Or when you sent in January the sports, I was like, that's right. Baseball's about to start. This will be cute for one of the moms. So that definitely helps just not even with just the painting, but business wise, kind of helped me say, all right, this is what you need to really start to prepare for. So if you get Valentine's, templates in November, don't be afraid. You really do need it then.
Yeah, that way you can start planning what you're going to start painting in December. That way you can start selling them in January. It's a whole thing. You got to start a couple of months out at least.
It's also a great trigger to tell me to go run and check Dollar Tree, because Dollar Tree's always a quarter ahead of us. So.
Yeah, they are. Like their Easter stuff's out in January sometimes. And then by the time Easter gets here, if I paint it on Alive, everybody's like, my Dollar Tree don't have that.
Yes.
Oh, me.
Thank you for asking.
What'd you say?
I said, thank you for asking.
Yeah. Oh. I put it up on the screen. I hope I spelled it right. Princess Crafts. Okay, good.
Thank you.
What is your business name going to be, Becca?
Art for the Heart.
Ooh.
But the heart is actually a red heart. Yeah.
I like it.
I like that.
It's really pretty. Well, do you guys have anything you would like to add? Is there anything you could say, I guess, for anybody who's maybe on the fence about this? Maybe, I know, like, we've kind of had a running theme each day when I've interviewed some of our members. And our theme, I feel like, for today is that you guys are busy. Like, you guys have busy careers outside of painting. So maybe you could speak to somebody who's also a busy mom or a busy, like, nurse. If they're, like, trying to decide if they've got time for this, what would you say to them?
I would say, if you are interested in it and you want to do it. I have my shirt I had on yesterday. I had to look to see what this one said. The shirt I had on yesterday, it's something to the effect of, if it makes your soul feel good, do it. Something like that.
Yeah.
I have to go get it and look. But I love it, because if it makes you feel good, do it. And as a nurse, I'm always taking care of other people. And I love that. Don't get me wrong. That's why I went into nursing. That was my choice. I could have done anything. And with my love for art, I almost went for a Bachelor of Fine Arts. But when you care for people and you're always wanting to do for others, but it's okay to do something for yourself too, because you need to take care of you before you can take care of someone else. And for me, it lets me use my creativity. And still, I am still helping people, because I'm sharing that with people in classes and teaching them and showing them that they can make something beautiful and something to be proud of when they didn't think they had any skills whatsoever. In the very short time I've been doing the classes, I'm already seeing that. The very first class I saw that. So I would say definitely, if you're thinking of it and you're on here watching because you're thinking about it, just do it, because we only have one life. We only have one chance. And this isn't anything that you can't stop if you decide, you know what, now's not the right time. Like Tamara had said, I don't know if you said this now or earlier today. I'm sorry, because I watched it earlier. But you had said something about people that have stopped their monthly, and then they came back because they missed it. And they knew that they wanted to do it and they missed doing it. So you're only committed to a month at a time. Think of it that way. Anybody can do anything in 30 days. Think of it that way.
Yeah, you can cancel it anytime. So you can try it out for a few months if you want. And then if life gets busy and you decide, I just don't have time for this right now, we're not going to hold you hostage like the gym memberships in town where they say, nope, you're committed, for a whole year. Now we'll just go as you please.
And as busy as I was traveling with my nursing, and everything, especially during COVID, I still didn't stop my membership, because I was still in there learning. I was still in there practicing things. I was still in there getting ideas of what I want to make, and I've made things and given them as gifts. So for Christmas, I make quite a few things. So, you're still going to use it.
I've heard from a couple people that they really missed the community. And when they left, all of a sudden, all the beautiful paintings and things that they were used to seeing in their newsfeed from the group went away. And all of a sudden their Facebook went back to being boring, non-crafty Facebook. And they were like, I miss it. So they came back. So I could totally see that happening.
And I mean, everything you do your Fab Fives on Fridays. There's just so much that you do that that we take in, that I just think, yeah, if you're on the fence, just hop on over.
Yeah.
I mean, I really would end up just piggybacking off of, I'm like, both of y'all get out of my head. Those are all of the things that I would say. I'd say do it, like, because like you're never too busy for you. A lot of us, and that is the interesting thing about like all of us that are in the group, we are so diverse, right? But then we all have like, I don't know if this is what attracts us to the group and what we do, but like for the most part, everyone just has this like loving, caring, big heart, right? And we all have the same, well, we'll just give it to you, and like those little things. And it's good for you to have like someone you can relate to. And if you're a mom, like talking to another adult sometimes is so helpful.
Yes, it is.
And so you're never too busy for you. And you should never feel guilty about your you time, because if you're not whole, you can't give anything to anyone else. So just try it. And you guys stole my analogy, because I'm like, no, it's not like golds. Like there's no cancellation fee. You're not gonna get hassled and called every day to come back or anything like that. Like that's the great thing too. It's like the group is there, and so if you give it a try and maybe that moment isn't the right time for you, you can come back and you'll still have all of the information that you had like while you were there. You'll have those templates and all of that too. So just do it. What is that, Nike?
Yeah, Nike. Megan Ramus is here. She said, I love putting a face to a name for you both. She knows you well from being in the community. There was something y'all said a minute ago that I was going to expand on, and it has completely left my brain now. You know how that is. It's like, oh, I was holding on to it. What was it? What was I going to say? But it's not coming to me now. It was, you said something about how you have one life to live. And like Becca was talking about how you want to serve people, you want to help people, and you're a nurse by day and a painter by night, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But it got me to thinking, Charlie, my daughter, has this book about, and I think it was written by like Al Green or somebody weird like that. But it's about how this little boy's trying to decide what he wants to be when he grows up. And he names off like 100 different things he wants to be. And his teacher's like, but you need to pick one. And he's like, why? My grandpa was a this and a that and a blah. And he named off like 10 careers his grandfather had. And he said, he's 87 and he still doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up. So I think we need to remember that we do not have to pigeonhole ourselves into being one thing. You are not just a nurse. You are not just an IT, what was it, project manager? It sounded really important. I am not just a mom or a teacher. I used to be an elementary school teacher. And if I had told myself, no, Tamara, you can't be a painter because you're just an elementary school teacher, I never would have gotten to do all of this with all of you now. And so, we can pivot at any moment. I think we were all brought up thinking we have to pick a career. We have to pick what we're going to be when we grow up, but that can evolve and change as we grow. And at the end of our life, would you rather know that you got to do all the things you ever wanted to do and to try all the careers you ever wanted to try? Or would you rather have just said, well, I stuck with this thing because it was steady and it was providing for my family and I didn't ever try anything else? And there is something to be said for a steady job that pays the bills and all of that, but find time to enrich your life with the things you really want to do in addition to that. So mic drop. I'm done.
It's your legacy. You leave a legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
And my children are already, they're 15 and 16, but they're learning from me that it's funny because my husband and I are so opposite. He does the job that you just had to do your one job. You don't do anything else. And they're seeing different things in me. Not that I'm saying one's right or wrong, but they're seeing that in me. And my son's already, coming up with ideas of being an entrepreneur. He wants to have a little business, and they're seeing that there's other things you can do.
Yeah. We spoke about that just a little bit a couple of days ago when I interviewed some of our members, because both the women that I interviewed had kids. and we were talking about how it's influencing our children. My daughter, Charlie, who's turning 7 next week, wants to be a painter when she grows up. And that wasn't something that I ever aspired to being as a kid, because in my mind, if I was going to be an artist, that meant I had to be like a famous artist who had art in a gallery somewhere. And if you weren't good, then there was no point in doing it, you know? And like, I never understood that there were other ways to make money with art or any of that. And so it was never even a thought in my mind. So I love that we are expanding the horizons for what our kids and the generations to come after us. I was inspired by my great grandmother, who was a one-room schoolhouse teacher for years. And after she retired, she went back to college to take art classes. And then suddenly she's painting canvases left and right, and teaching piano, and just doing all these things. So she wore a lot of hats throughout her life as well. I think when I think of her, I also think of the gardening that she did. So, you know, I want to be like that. I want to, at the end of my life, have tried all the different things and to have gained as many skills as possible. So.
When God gives us skills. Oh, sorry, Minnie.
Oh, no, it's okay, Becca. I think one last thing that I would say too that I really enjoy is like having the opportunity to support other PC sisters too. Like sometimes I'll post something and be like, I'm not sure about it. And it's like genuinely really great. And I'm like, no, you need to hear that. Like, it's great. Keep going. And I don't know about like everyone else, but just like sometimes being able to support someone else just makes you feel good. And we have that in there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Renee said, how does she even have a 15 or a 16-year-old? I don't know if she's talking about me, but I have a 15-year-old. Do you guys have kids?
I have a 23-year-old, a 21, and the baby is 15.
You look way too young to have kids that old. Wow.
I was like, he was just in here, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's what my 15-year-old just walked through. I have a 15 and 16-year-olds. Yeah.
Girls, y'all are keeping it young. Y'all look amazing to have kids.
Thank you. It's that stress relieving from painting. That's what it is.
We're giving painting all the credit. It's keeping all the wrinkles out of our faces. Oh, man. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me today. Do y'all have anything that maybe you didn't get to say that you want to leave with us?
I'm gonna say, use your God-given talents. He gave us talents for a reason. And so many people don't use those talents, don't even know they have them. And if you know, painting could be your talent, and you have no idea until you give it a chance. And, you know, I just think, you know, we need to find those talents and use them.
And I think sometimes the hint that we have that talent is we have the desire. We have that, I wish I could. And all it takes is the I wish I could to get you started, because once you start to actually try the thing, yes, you're going to fail and you're going to have a few mess ups, but eventually you're going to get the hang of it, because there's everything in this world that we learn how to do is a skill. It's something we have to practice and work at. Not like very rarely is anybody just born with something. That's usually a very rare circumstance, that you're just born with the ability to play a piano or whatever. So the rest of us, we all got to practice at it, but that doesn't mean we can't be amazing at it. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to stay on for just a moment longer and explain what the Painters Clubhouse is, in case somebody for some reason doesn't know what it is. But y'all have a great day. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Bye, Minnie.
Bye, Becca.
That was so fun getting to know them. So in case maybe this is the first time you've ever hopped on my page and you have hopped, get it? I didn't mean to use a rabbit pun, but I totally am wearing a rabbit shirt today. So if this is the first time you've landed on my page and you have no clue what the Painters Clubhouse is, let me tell you just a little bit about it, because today is the last day to sign up, and it is something that we only open 2 times a year. It is our painting membership, where we teach you how to paint lovely things just like what's hanging up behind me. These are called door hangers. They're made of 1/4-inch thick wood. We painted this one last night, and then we painted this one on Tuesday night and this one on Monday night. And tonight we'll be painting 1 more of these. So if you will come back and join us tonight, I will give you a little taste of what my teaching style is like. Oh, goodness. I can't get it hooked back up there. There we go. And so you'll kind of get to see what my teaching style is like. You'll be able to ask as many questions as you like. But we teach two 2 door hangers designs each month in the Painters Clubhouse. One is always taught by me and one is by a guest painter. We also sprinkle in fun little bonus videos and things from guests that know things about hand lettering or bow making or using napkin and Mod Podge or foils. We've got all kinds of really cool tutorials and things that you can incorporate not only in your door hangers, but also in your other crafts that you do. And so not only do you get the new designs we release every week, but you also get access to over 100 different designs that are in our library right now in the Painters Clubhouse. You can go and download the printable templates. Let me kind of give you a look at what a printable template looks like. So it prints on multiple sheets of paper like this, and you tape it together, and then you use something called carbon paper, tracing paper, graphite paper, whatever you want to call it, to transfer it to your wood, and then you have a design that you can paint. And so we demonstrated how to do that on Monday night with this design. We just traced this pattern on a wooden round. And then last night we demonstrated how you could take that same sort of template and cut it out of the wood. So you can see we used a jigsaw to cut this shape out. We transferred the design so we didn't have to freehand draw the flowers or any of that. And then last night we painted this one, and this one's a little different. It has been cut with a laser cutting machine. So maybe if you're not ready to start cutting out your own pieces yet, we do have the option for you to purchase the wooden pieces from us with your Painters Clubhouse discount code to get you 20% off, and you can use that as many times as you like. Now, all the designs that we teach in the Clubhouse are original designs that you can use in your business. You can sell them on Etsy at a craft show or to your neighbor, whatever you want to do. You can teach them in paint parties like Becca was talking about. You can also teach them in virtual parties if you want to. And then, of course, you don't want to miss out on the amazing community that these ladies were really bragging on. It exists in a private Facebook group here on Facebook. It's called the Painters Clubhouse. That's where we post our pictures of our creations. We share our ideas. We go there to ask questions if we're stuck on something. If we've had an amazing craft show, we'll post pictures and share, and everybody like celebrates with you that you had an amazing craft show. Or if you didn't have an amazing craft show, maybe you came on and you're like, y'all help me. What could I have done differently? And that's when everybody shows up and they're like, you know what? This is what has worked for me. And they're all so generous to share their feedback and their support. And in addition to that, we do Zoom paint parties once a month. We hop on Zoom together as a group and we can craft and paint together. It's just a wonderful time. Of course, we do that on our computers or from our laptops or our iPads. And so if you're used to crafting alone, I want to encourage you to participate in one of those. It's a lot of fun. So if you want to join, the link is up in the description up above. Like I said, today is the last day. We will not be opening it again until the fall. So like Becca said, just do it. Just jump in, just do it. Like give yourself the chance to try something new, even if you're busy like she is. And of course, Minnie was saying the very same thing. Thank you, Cindy. This is my little bunny shirt from Cotton Chaos from last year. Somebody said, do new members get the template that you just showed? Are we talking about this one right here? So this was part of our Happy Flowers workshop. So most of our members have already gotten this one, but if you're a brand new member and you did not participate in the Happy Flowers, you will not get access to this one, but we will be selling it next spring. We usually keep them exclusive to current members until the next year. And so you had to have joined in the Happy Flowers workshop in order to get that particular one. Does anybody else have any additional questions? Yeah, Olivia, if you feel more comfortable texting me your questions, you can text me here. Also, when you text us, that gets you on our texting list and we will notify you when I go live. So tonight at 7 p.m. Central, I'll text everybody on the list and remind them that I'm getting ready to go live for night number 4 of painting our Flowers for Mom design. And tonight there's going to be a new 3-dimensional element that we're going to add into it because I've cut out some extra pieces on the laser. So it's going to look a little different tonight. All right. Well, if you want to sign up, click the link above. I hope to see you in the Painters Clubhouse. Bye, everybody.